Welcome to Small Business Big Visibility. This is part of a mini series on websites. Many business owners, they don't have a degree in design, they don't have a degree in marketing, but this kind of information is absolutely critical so you can take your business to the next level. If you're not sure if your website's a good one, go back, watch some of the previous episodes. We have a bunch more episodes that I'm really excited to release in this series talking about different elements of a website. Today we're focusing down at the very bottom of the website on the footer. Why do they call it a footer? Well, at the top of the website is the head of the website, then you have the body, then you have the footer. Makes sense from a human structure standpoint, I guess. But the footer is this one key piece to a website that kind of glues everything together. Having been in the website world as long as I have and been in tech as long as I have, I've seen a lot of changes over the years and a bunch of different theories on what should or shouldn't be in the footer. There was a point in time when you only wanted the footer to be about just tall enough to have one line of text on it, and people thought that was so sleek and clean. But they've made a terrible mistake. They forgot that the website wasn't built to be sleek and clean. They forgot that the website was actually built to help potential customers become customers, not to just look sleek and clean. And so then they went to from one side of the spectrum, and then the pendulum swung clear over to the other side of the spectrum, and then the footer was as tall as the page of the website, and sometimes you had even more stuff in the footer, and you have all this crazy stuff in there. They're like, we're gonna put everything in there so that they can find it no matter what. And it swung so far to the other side, the footer was this confusing jumble of mess of stuff, and it again wasn't helpful. Now, fortunately, that pendulum has largely swung to the middle, and now we've got a few things that some smart people have realized, wait, we want to serve our customers first. Let's figure out what the customers need in order to be successful and put it in the appropriate place on the site. Behind me, we've got a few key elements that should go in most footers on a website. The first is some contact information. You want to make it easy for people to do business with you. If you watched the video that talked about the website header, we talked about having a very minimal amount of information in the header, but one of the key pieces in the header is the phone number. In the footer, again, that's a key piece of information that you want to have. You want to be able to make it easy for potential customers to do business with you. If you only have one location, it's really a good idea to put the address in the footer so that as people scroll down, they can find out where your business is. So we talked about your phone number, your address, maybe hours of operation can go down there. And again, it depends. If you have multiple locations, you may actually need to put those on an actual locations page, but most small business owners don't have multiple locations, and so this can work really well to put in the footers. Recap on that first element is the contact information. You can sometimes put phone number, hours of operation, email, your address, that kind of information in the footer. The second type of information that you often will find in a footer are links to different parts of your site. And behind my head, if I move, you can see it says legal links. This is critical. Depending on your government jurisdiction, they may have different rules on what your website has to say, types of different policies that should be on there. I'm not going to try and be your legal advice because I'm not an attorney. So go out and find an attorney that can give you legal advice if you need that for what goes on your website. In the United States, it's pretty common practice to have a terms page, to have a privacy policy on your site, to have some other disclaimers as well, to have some other information sometimes about the accessibility of your website. But again, I'm not legal advice for you. Go out and talk to an attorney. Find out what you need to have, especially in your industry, in order to be compliant. There are some industries that have to have very specific messaging in order to be in compliance with the rules and regulations for their industry. The footer is a great place to either link to that or contain some of that information. The third category of content that you want to put in the footer that we back behind me is social proof. Are you on social media at all? Do you have a Google business profile? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Facebook? Do you have a YouTube account? If you have any of those, linking to those in the footer can be a really nice way for someone to be able to figure out more about your business and to be able to find out where are you at so that they can connect with you on the platform of choice for them. Now, I didn't have enough room behind me on the screen to give you all the other elements that could go in there. Oftentimes you want to have a bit of a navigation In the footer as well, you want to key out to some critical key elements of your website. Maybe you've got some pages that are secondarily important. Maybe they're not as important as the home, about, services, gallery, contact us, but they're still important. Like, it could be things like your blog can go on the footer. You can also put, if you have other pages on your site that you want to make available in case people are interested, you can throw them down there. People have been trained pretty well to scroll down to the bottom to find information. If you're an e-commerce site, and I know most small business owners aren't, but most e-commerce platforms will put pages such as their shipping policy and their return policy, those kinds of things down the footer as well, because it makes it really easy for people to be able to find those regardless of what page they're on. A couple other things that often go in the footer, and this is back to some of that legal stuff, but there aren't links. It can be a copyright. That's very common. You'll see in the footer as well. And then if someone designs your site, sometimes the company that designed your website will put their brand name. It's almost like a signature on the website, like an artist will do on a piece of artwork. Those are the kinds of things you'll see in a website footer. If you're not sure what your industry should have in the footer, I would invite you to go look at a few of your competitors, or even more fun, go to a totally separate city, type in some other city name looking for your industry, find 10 different websites, visit those and take a screenshot of each footer, and then compare them and see what each ones have. Compare it to what you have on your footer. You're probably going to find either you've done a terrible job or maybe you've done a pretty good job, but either way, there's usually some room for improvement. And as you make those little incremental improvements in your business, you start to build up and stack up, and you get bigger and better results.